Hello and welcome to Pam's Kitchen. I'm Pam Uten, Family and Consumer Science Agent with NC State Cooperative Extension here in Cabarrus County. And I'm so glad you're joining us today because I always promise something quick, easy, and nutritious. Well, I think I've hit the bell again this episode because we're going to be making a 15-minute soup, which is so quick and easy. The main thing is have these ingredients on hand and you're ready to have a quick lunch or dinner. Now, you'll want to get a large saucepan or a pot that will hold 2 quarts of soup. And one thing I like to do is spray just a little bit of cooking spray on the bottom so things don't stick if they get too hot, and it makes cleanup a whole lot easier. We're going to be adding, first of all, 1 can, 15 ounces of Great Northern beans. Now, you can use other beans, kidney beans, black beans, whatever you want to use, but we're using Great Northern beans today. And the main thing is rinse the northern beans, hence they're in a little colander, before you add them. We want to try to remove as much sodium and make this as healthy as we possibly can. We're going to also add now 14 ounces of, low sodium chicken broth to these northern beans. Our next addition will be, again, low sodium tomatoes. This is going to be 2 16-ounce cans of low sodium tomatoes. Now, you can always not use low sodium, but I believe when you can, go with low sodium. These happen to be petite diced tomatoes. You could do cubed tomatoes, or maybe you even have some tomatoes you've canned at your home. Then we're going to add 1 chopped onion. Get old chopped onion for some flavor. You're going to see why this is called 15-minute. You can put it together in about 10, but then you have to allow some time for it to heat up and become finished. All right, next we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. You could add garlic powder, garlic salt, or just regular table salt. But I'm using garlic powder simply because that's what I had in my home. So we'll stir this up a little bit. And now we're going to take a stroll over to my range where we're going to finish preparing this soup. Our tomatoes and onions and northern beans are heating on the range now, and we're waiting until they come to a boil. While they're preparing to boil, I want to share a couple of things. I've already mentioned that you can use different beans, but I definitely need to share that this soup is better if it's consumed the day you make it. It is a soup that isn't nearly as good the next day. The texture changes, and the taste and the nutrition is fine, but for best quality, you want to eat it today, and that will be no problem. It's going to be so good, I promise you, and so easy to come together. Our 15-minute soup is boiling now, so we're ready for the next addition, and that's going to be some frozen leaf spinach. And I love having spinach on hand in the freezer. This is about, I think, 12 ounces of spinach, almost a whole bag. And we are stirring the spinach in, and as we stir it in, we're breaking it up because it is a little still frozen. So we're adding the spinach, and the next thing we're going to do is bring it back to a boil again. So now we're ready to add our pasta. And you can use any kind of pasta. I'm using whole wheat pasta, which I believe in, and I have penny pasta. Corkscrew pasta, the little round curve, half moon, does prepare a little bit quicker, but again, I had the penny pasta on hand, so that's what I'm using. That's what we do at home. We use what we have, and also it's a great idea to be using whole wheat pasta, adding more fiber. Now, we're going to turn this down a little bit, and I'm going to cover it, and we're going to let this boil and steam for about 6 minutes. We are waiting on the pasta to get tender, and I think it's just about there. This recipe is from our Cook Smart, Eat Smart curriculum at NC State, and it's been a favorite. I believe our pasta is tender now, and we're ready to enjoy the 15-minute soup. And the great thing about this recipe is it's easy, uses ingredients that are on hand most likely, and it's very easy to prepare. I would encourage you to invite a friend over or plan to eat it all in one day, because this is a soup that is not the best reheated the next day. You could add more vegetables, or I've added some delicious sourdough bread to kind of fill out and round out the 15-minute soup. I hope you'll come back to see us in Pam's Kitchen again soon, where I'll always be preparing something quick, easy, and nutritious.